start looking at those.
That's for the Christmas on Main Street, that small receipt there.
I knew what that was. I did
Okay.
anyway.
Well, this must be a previous year, because it shows service date 12/18/24. And this one here is 12/18/25.
I don't know, let me take a look here, see.
Or just a mistake.
Probably just a mistake, because it's marked 25 at the top.
Oh, okay. Right,
And she
you
just
see the
wrote-
you see the 24
Yeah,
there.
yeah, I know the top, it's got 25 on
Okay,
the invoice there.
all right.
He's going back in time.
Sorry, gang.
We went ahead and started with the invoices. So you can call us to order and do all that official stuff.
We started without you.
I'm glad you did it. That shows initiative.
We've already voted on the fine for lateness.
Oh, I will call the meeting to order. See, we're all present and accounted for. And
You got your minutes there.
you gentlemen looked over the minutes?
Yep.
Well, I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes from the last meeting as presented.
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, minutes are approved. Now I've just gotta catch up on claims.
Thank you.
And our attorney must be the Pittman Woodward
Mhm.
Law Firm.
Yes, we had not received any invoices for a while,
Right,
so we did,
I'm seeing one for
Yes,
the first
yeah.
time.
yes. So they sent them all at the same time.
Playing catch up.
Yes.
Yeah. They need money for Christmas.
This, life-saving commendation bar, did this officer save someone's life? And it is, this is being awarded?
I believe so, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I think we're administering CPR,
Mhm.
until the, ambulance got there.
Wow,
Yep.
okay. So far, the numbers have been very reasonable. Until now.
I spoke to some.
Okay, yeah.
uh,
You found it.
Yeah, I just had to ask, somebody, like, there's a piece of property for sale, and I wanted to check on the restrictions. Mhm. Thought that would be who it would be. Oh, that's no good.
Well, when you get in there, you're just gonna get out.
Yeah. I try not to ever go in.
Seeing that Lawrence County Solid Waste, the last meeting I went to, assuming it gets approved, and I'm sure it will, the fees are gonna go up $10 a ton.
Yeah.
For next year. Like everything else.
Like everything what do you do?
This all goes together. Cookies with Santa.
I'll make the motion, we pay the claims.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye?
Aye.
The claims are approved.
Payroll for your review.
Mhm.
All right, I'll make a motion that we approve the payroll as presented.
Second that motion.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye?
Aye.
All right, we'll put the old John Hancock to it.
You don't want me to put John Hancock on.
Yeah. So I do not have any utility adjustments for today, but I do have one account that the person is deceased and they left a balance due. So we'll pass that around and let you take a look at that. I just need your permission to, adjust that.
It's just water.
Yeah.
Water, sewer,
Water, sewer,
Okay.
trash, and it totals $36.41 total.
41 cents.
Thank you.
Okay.
sad to say, there's no better reason than that you can't pay the bill.
You ain't pay the bill.
I will make a motion that we approve Vicky able to write that off.
I'll save it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and then I have, so now the pennies, are being discontinued. Some banks are no longer, letting you buy them. When I was at the bank this past week or a couple days ago, they said basically that when they place an order for coins, that for the penny, especially, like, they get half what they want. So they're dwindling down. Some banks are not getting them out altogether. So obviously that's gonna put a bind or a wrinkle in our utility bills. So we kind of have put together this proposal, basically, that once our pennies are gone and we don't have any in reserve, that when somebody pays in cash, we will no longer obviously give them change in pennies.
Right.
Whatever is remaining of the penny, the change, anywhere from a 1 to 4 cent increment, will be put as a credit on their next month's account. So we can't round up, because in that, that changes our
Right.
sales tax,
That changes
which also
everything.
changes the
Yeah.
total.
The total, right.
So we can't do that, and we can't short ourselves, so, we feel like that's the simplest.
Simplest,
Way.
easiest way.
Exactly,
For
so-
you girls, yeah.
So for instance, if the bill is $85.71,
Right.
and they gave us $85.75, that 4 cents will just be added to their credit for the next month, and we will just no longer have pennies to give
Right.
out.
Exactly.
So we just need permission to go ahead and make that our new policy, and then once our pennies run out, so we don't necessarily have a definitive date when this is gonna start, but once we get to that point, then this will be our policy moving forward, so.
As long as that works for you,
Yeah,
works for them down there, I'd say,
it works for me.
yeah, right.
All the local stores are rounding, paying
Exactly,
you, giving you more money back than
yes,
you're supposed to.
Yeah.
Like 4 cents or 3
yeah,
cents.
like rounding it,
Yeah.
so whatever, so,
They round it up.
so yes, but given our situation, we can't do that.
Sound like about the simplest way that you can do it. Is
yes.
it gonna cost you any more paperwork or anything? or-
No, it's just
No.
like one extra step for them to, put that back in there.
Right,
An account, just account for it, so
Yeah.
they'll receipt it in, and then they'll automatically get the credit will move forward, so it's not really any different,
okay,
but we just wanna obviously make sure everybody's aware of it, and we have to have a policy in place, so once we start doing that,
right, exactly.
obviously if they pay in correct change, wonderful, we don't have to,
Yeah.
it's not a big deal,
Right,
so,
check or
yeah.
something, it's no big deal.
Exactly, so there are other options in
Yeah.
order to prevent that from happening, but
But checks will still be written for
the correct amount,
Correct
yes, this
amount.
only,
$90 for
this only,
71
yes,
cents.
this only applies to
Cash.
cash
Yeah.
only,
Okay.
and only in that, amounts with between 1 to 4 cent. Obviously, if it's nickels, dimes, whatever, we're fine with it, but the pennies are, like I said, the bank is already seeing a change on their end, and I know, I think they said there was a bank in Martin County that's no longer even letting people buy them, so, yeah, we just need a permission to do that, and like, I probably a motion and all that good stuff to let us make that new change, this policy.
I'll make a motion that we, do as suggested, where we issue a credit forward when we have
Yep.
pennies.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye,
And then I have one more thing, so we had an employee who went to get their physical for their CDL, and, it did not pass, so they're not keeping their CDL. Normally, we would reimburse them for that expense, but in this case, since they're not getting it, I kind of wanted to know what you all thought about this, since, we don't really have a set policy on how that works.
how that works, cause you've never run into this.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So now that in this case it's not, he's not keeping it, the feeling is we probably cannot reimburse it. but I
if we're not gonna benefit from it, I say no. I'm like you,
Yeah.
we're not gonna benefit from it, if he was gonna keep it, and we was gonna benefit, then be a
Yeah.
different story.
Again, I felt like it needed to just be
Yeah,
brought to you before we just made a decision.
So the individual had to pay the $110.
They pay it first, yeah, to get the physical.
Yeah.
And
And did
then,
not pass,
Yes.
therefore it's not reimbursable. Or-
that would be our assumption, but we needed to bring it to the Board of Works to have it discussed.
Okay.
Should you come up with something, maybe some kind of a policy that word,
might-
or have you got? So
I'm
then,
not sure.
if this happens again, you know,
Yeah.
then you've got, okay, this is our policy, you know.
I'll have to double check that.
Yeah.
Again, I don't think we've had this happen,
That,
so we
well,
might not have a policy
it's
on it.
not, I've never known it to happen in the
Yeah.
past 6 years.
So I can check on that.
Yeah.
Come up with something to discuss the next meeting if we need to.
Right.
Yeah, I thought maybe that the city paid to get the CDLs for everyone.
We do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
after the fact, once they
Right,
pay for it,
yeah, after, yeah, but I mean, maybe prior to,
Yeah.
but then they would be reimbursed by the, place where the CDL was denied.
Yeah, they have to pay for it as part of, because it's technically their license, so.
Okay.
So they have to be the ones to do all the, either testing or whatever in order to maintain it, so, it has to come out, that has to be their investment first,
Mhm.
and then we have in the past reimbursed it, so.
So this would be anybody that would, for example, drive the trash pickup truck and things of that nature then?
Yes, I think, what is it, the weight of the vehicle, the length of the vehicle, there's some things
There's
that
something in there, yeah, I
There's
don't, I'm like,
guidelines.
I really don't know what it is off the top of my
Yes.
head, but I mean,
So I think we have still remaining, I'm gonna have to look at our list, but I think at least 4 people in the street department that have a CDL,
Mhm.
either A or B classification.
Yeah.
Remaining, so,
I know when my 2 oldest boys, when they worked for Miller Pipeline, they could drive the dump truck without a CDL license.
Mhm.
But if they put a trailer behind it to haul a backhoe on, then they had to have CDL.
cause I think it's something with the.
Right, cause you got into the weight and the
Yes.
length
And
thing.
I think certain dump trucks also, again, I'm not a
Yeah,
CDL
I
expert,
And also about
but it's
air
the
brakes.
weight.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
got
they
the
can't
air
have-
brake endorsement, had to have
Yes,
that too, if
and
they got
so-
air brakes.
And I think if the dump truck is a certain weight.
Yeah.
Then that bumps it to a CDL
Yeah.
classification as well,
You
so,
put a tag along behind it, didn't
exactly,
Our
Change it.
flatbeds, you don't need to be a CDL.
Exactly.
But you get into the bigger dump truck that the snow plows on,
you? Right.
you have to.
yes. So, that was presented to us, again, I thought this might be a good, we probably should have a consensus before if we were to reimburse him based on the circumstances of him not keeping it.
Right.
So,
The only other thing that I would add in this case is, this is an eyesight thing. There was I'm not gonna say eye surgery, but something similar to eye surgery involved, and that's why he didn't pass.
That's why he didn't.
Didn't pass.
Okay.
The doctor told
That
him it would
could, that
take
could
care
happen
of
to
it,
anybody.
and it didn't.
Yeah, I mean, that could happen to anybody. I mean, that wasn't his fault. I mean, he wasn't doing anything he shouldn't have done. Let's put it that way. It's just one of the
Just age.
things.
Right.
Yeah,
Catching up to him.
right, exactly. I understand that. I know what that age is, don't I?
It's only 3 letters, it's really, it's 4-letter word, isn't it?
Yeah.
so, I just need a decision on,
You need a, so,
I mean, just a recommendation, I don't know that we need to take a vote on it necessarily, but
okay. Well,
I just need to know what you guys think.
since we're not gonna benefit from him, he's not gonna be able to, you know,
And it is a personal license.
yeah, it is. And so I say no, I mean, on that case,
Yeah.
we shouldn't have to reimburse him.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my opinion. David, you got an opinion?
Well, I was almost of the opinion that, this is something that he's doing would have done for the community had he been able to get the license. And he paid in advance for that purpose. I just don't know.
let's hear from you.
Well, I'll be the first to admit, I'm kind of a soft touch, and I lean towards David's point of view, and that the only reason he even took it is because of his city job.
Okay,
So, you know, my opinion would be to
Reimbursed.
reimburse, but
reimburse, hey. Yeah, you wanna look at it that way, I'll go along with that too, yes,
It's a small 3-digit number,
yeah. I mean,
it's not gonna,
it ain't gonna make us or break us, I hope it don't anyway, so
but I think,
Okay.
I'll,
In the event
I'll,
that we
I'll
get-
take mine back and I'll say,
Okay.
reimburse the
Okay.
guy.
but there may be others that follow.
Yeah, we'll need to look at a policy then.
Yeah, you need to come up with
Yeah.
something that
to
you
me,
got something to really go by.
a lot of it depends
Right.
too why you didn't pass.
Exactly,
If
exactly,
you went over there and didn't pass it because of drugs, not a
Then-
chance.
right, and this was, if this is
Not a fat
vision
chance.
related,
Right,
and it happens,
and like I said,
people can't get driver's license because of their vision failure.
The man's still gonna be an employee of the city, I assume, because,
at least for a while.
yeah. I mean, I hope his eyesight doesn't get any worse. Wouldn't wish that on nobody.
That's it, that's all I got today.
Anything else that, next meeting, is that part of this year or is that next year?
Well, it's gonna happen this year,
31st.
so,
Well, I guess what I'm asking is Rex says
I
he
know, we
wants
already
to
asked him of that, and he said this was the last one, so,
today.
Yep.
All right, Scott McBride
okay.
is gonna be the replacement,
He's gonna take my
he's
seat.
gonna take your place.
Okay, well, he can probably fill this seat, he's a pretty good sized guy. You tell him I said that too.
All right.
You tell him.
I tell him he's got a big job to fill.
I've known Scott for years, of course you have too.
Mhm.
I don't believe I know the gentleman.
He worked at Spring Mill for, well, that was kind of his career. He
Yeah, it was.
Maintenance
Yeah.
down there till he
Maintenance.
retired.
Well, then,
And then he's worked a little bit for the school out here,
yeah,
traffic control, and things like that.
He comes to a lot of the council meetings,
Yeah.
majority of them.
well,
so,
Oh,
Sits
Chris-
back there.
Chris Carlisle is his brother-in-law.
Yeah,
Yeah, Scott and I got a letter sent to Indianapolis on, from a lady down there at the park. I was visiting some people down there and Scott come by and he looked and see who it was. He said, is there anybody down there in this campground that you don't know? And I said, well, them people over there, I haven't been over there yet, you know, it's kinda like that. And back then, it was pretty particular about an extra car being back there, you know. And he never said a word to me about moving my car or nothing. And that lady wrote a letter to Indianapolis and said, you need to investigate the park at the city. This park at Spring Mill, they cater to the local people. So, wasn't long, I was down by there and I read the letter that was sent, cause they sent it back, and Scott told him, said who it was, you know. He said, I knew he was just visiting, wasn't gonna be long, he'd be leaving, going home, you know. And, so anyway, it was about maybe a month later after that, I run into these same people down at, Patoka. And that lady spoke up, she says, I wrote a letter to Indianapolis on that park down there at Spring Mill. I said, yeah, I know you did, I read that letter. Well, she shut up just like that. Scott'll be good. He'll be a good guy, he'll be all right.
Yeah, he's interested.
Good, I'm glad he is.
Anything else?
Nope.
All right, I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Ms.
Thank
Vicky.
you, Vicky.
yeah, Vicky,